As soon as I get my Canadian passport, I'm leaving this country. It's one of the most common things you hear Nigerians say in Canada, especially during the winter when it's minus 40 something and the cold is entering your bones. You start questioning your life choices. But once the sun comes out again, you see those same people in the park with sunglasses, jollof, doing BBQ parties and shouting, "Oh, this country be sweet oh, if not for the cold." So, do people really want to live or find a way of having the best of both worlds? What makes anyone go through all the stress of getting citizenship and then turn around to leave the same country they fought so hard to enter? Let's talk about Japada, the quiet return of Nigerians in the diaspora that is starting to get louder. For some Nigerians abroad, the passport was never the destination. It was the tool. Some of them didn't leave Nigeria because they hated it. They left because they wanted better opportunities for themselves and their children. And once the passport came, the real question started. Do I stay here forever or go back home with more power and more experience? What makes someone give up the life they worked hard to build just to return back to the same life they once ran away from? Some people think you're crazy when you return back to Nigeria. They'll be like, what? Why will you be coming back? People are lining up in embassies. People are selling off their things. They are doing IETLs just to leave the country. But there are still people that are saying, I've had enough of this abroad. I'm coming back home. Some Nigerians don't return back home because they failed. They return because abroad showed them something they were not prepared for. It's one thing to live abroad. It's another to belong. Imagine in Nigeria, you have your friends that you grew up together, the same neighborhood, even maybe went to school with together. And as adults, sometimes you live in the same neighborhood or even the same city. You can see yourselves again. But when you live abroad, many ties are cut. Coupled with the fact that maybe your siblings or your parents are living elsewhere. If you're a family person, this is one of the hardest things for some people to bear. Back home, for a month, you can use 200k to pay your domestic staff. But abroad, unless you're a multi-millionaire, you will have to be driving yourself, do your cleaning sometimes, and you look after your baby. Because even that your 200k that you used to employ this fleet of domestic staff might not be enough to pay for a week of childcare abroad. So you start doing things by yourself, not because you are poor, but because the system is different. They pay people well. Then there's the status check. You might have been somebody in Nigeria, siren blow follow you, big guy in Nigeria. But when you come abroad, it becomes a leveler. That name, that title, that siren don't seem to matter anymore. Joseph Benjamin, the award-winning actor, the very Joseph Benjamin, well known, well respected. When he went on Teju Babyface show, he shared how he had to drive an Uber when he first moved to the US. And there's no shame in that. In fact, I love the dignity with which he said he did the job. He was not ashamed. He was not hiding his face. People that knew him saw him, recognized him. He greeted them. He was doing his job. But it was a shock. And he was not alone. There are many people, celebrities, professionals, that when they relocate abroad, before they find their feet, they have to do some of the jobs you will never think they would do. Because abroad doesn't care about your former titles. It only cares about your paper, your hustle. It humbles people. Sometimes you meet someone with a last name that normally in Nigeria, your path and their path can never cross. But then you find yourself maybe living in the same neighborhood, going to the same church, and your children going to the same school. That's abroad. It levels everyone. And not everybody likes that. Some people still want to enjoy that privilege. So when you see someone return, it's not because abroad is bad. It's probably because it wasn't a good fit for them. Many people abroad, they love Nigeria. If you see how people are trying to recreate Nigeria abroad, after paying all this plenty money to leave Nigeria, they come abroad to recreate it. The first time I went to Peckham in London, I was like, is this new Benin market in Benin City? Sister, your hair, auntie, your nails. I'm like, where am I? Where am I? It's so Nigerian. Even the Oyinbo living there, they might have been Nigerianized already.
Blood. He has already said, thou shalt not kill. Whoever shed the blood of a man from the hand of man.
Also, not everyone that returns is doing so out of failure or regret. Some people are simply chasing a different type of comfort that comes from a place of being valued, being seen, respected, and even celebrated. Like the Nigerian woman that was born and raised abroad that says she likes to come to Nigeria because in Nigeria she feels like the top 10%. Being born and raised abroad gives her that privilege. But when she goes back to the UK, she's just the minority. She's not alone. Others say abroad is too isolating. Some say it's too expensive to raise kids, especially without the village support you get. At home, you have children. Family members can help you babysit. It's not always possible to do that abroad. While others say it's the values. Some say abroad is too woke to bring up your child. Everybody has got their reasons. Some are Aku. She said it's the simple things. Family, peace of mind, a slower pace. Here's the irony. Some people Japa by all means because they want their children to be raised in a global environment and be citizens, while the ones returning back home want their kids to stay grounded. There was a time Nigerians went abroad to study and still came back home. It was a flex. The ones doing well always came back home. In the 60s and 70s and even up to the 80s, it was almost a given. You go, you learn, and you come back home because home was working. Jobs were waiting, respect was guaranteed, and returning home didn't feel like a downgrade. Doctors, engineers, academics, they built careers in Nigeria because Nigeria gave them the room to build. But now, school is a strategy again. Many don't have the plan to return back after they leave. Those who return, do it quietly. Thanks to social media, they are making it louder, they are saying their own truth, and they are not letting anybody shaming them into coming back home. Because people always ask, what happened? Why did you leave? Is everything okay? But think about it. If Nigeria was even 20% better than it is right now, many people will not be dying to leave. Those that have left will definitely be coming back. Because east or west, north or south, no place like home. It's not about hating Nigeria. It's about surviving it. What would it take for people to start choosing Nigeria again? Not just for December, but for life. Ghana did it in 2019. They launched the year of return. Over 1 million visitors, and they made almost $2 billion with a B dollars. But more than the money, people felt welcome. It wasn't just a campaign. It was a statement. Ghana followed it with a 10-year plan, focused on investment, resettlement, and connection of the diaspora. They made it easier for not just Ghanaians in the diaspora, but Africans in diaspora to buy land, do business, and even gain residency. But Nigeria, we get 30 December. The DJs, the club tours, the Real Housewives of Atlanta, they partied in Lekki, posted clips, and then went back in January. You can't even talk about Japada without getting raised eyebrows. Talk less of inviting the wider diaspora to come back. There's no reintegration plan. Japada isn't just hard. It's not even encouraged.
You gotta go home, though. Eventually, you gotta go home.
People are not just fleeing Nigeria just because of hardship. They are fleeing because there is no plan, no path. Looks like the future is bleak. The better Nigeria becomes, the less we need to run away to live elsewhere. But for now, what can you do with the green passport in hand? Stick around because in our next video, we'll be looking at 45 places you can go with your Nigerian passport, no visa needed. And some of them are Instagram photo worthy. You might be surprised. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe.